Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse live post-game show. After Game 4, the New York Knicks just put themselves on the brink of elimination. The season, this entire season, is now down to a must-win situation for every single game. The margin of error has been removed. If the Knicks had won this Game 4, they would be going back home, tied 2-2, and then it's a best of 3. Right now, Knicks need to sweep the final 3 games of the season to be able to advance to their first NBA Finals in over 25 years. The odds of that are very slim, and they've done it to themselves. That's really the only way to put it. They did it to themselves. For one, giving away Game 1 put them in a real hole, and then not responding in Game 2 at home at MSG to at least get a split before they hit the road. They came out in Game 3, pulled off a tremendous comeback, a historic comeback. The only team that's ever come back from 3 20-point deficits in the playoffs. And then tonight, they could not get over the hump because they kept shooting themselves in the foot. They kept turning the ball over constantly, conceding 20 points off of those turnovers, if not more. 17 turnovers. 17 turnovers. The season's on the brink. I'm not going to sugarcoat it any other way. And it's possible that Thibodeau's coaching, I don't know. I'll have to think about it a little more. It feels like Thibs may have saved his coaching job just getting the Knicks to the conference finals. But if they do lose Game 5 at MSG, which that means they will have lost all 3 at home, and they will have a gentleman's sweep. Well, they will have been gentlemen swept. And might be difficult to hold on to for Leon to hold on to Thibs in that situation. So Game 5 now becomes the game whether Thibs can hold on to his job or not, or at least remove the doubt. Because if the Knicks win Game 5, they go back to Indiana and lose Game 6, you can say, hey, at least. And also, Karl-Anthony Towns hurt his knee. He was limping off the court. In fact, I got this video here for you guys. Shout out to New York basketball. Right here, look at him limping off the court. The game's over. 24 points for him, 8 of 15, 12 rebounds. He collided knees with Aaron Nesmith towards the end, I think around 3-minute mark in that fourth quarter. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's not looking good at all. This season could be actually legitimately over. But it's not officially over. And despite how they played tonight, this team it's been like I said, this team has achieved historical comebacks. Now in games. Now they need to achieve one in a series. Again, one game at a time. Next game is 2 nights from now, Thursday. It's at MSG. If Knicks could secure their first W at home in this conference finals, then they'll be returning to Indiana. And they did prove that they can win in Indiana, especially first games. They went back to Indiana for the Game 3, and they won that game. If they could push it to a Game 7, anything can happen. But if this man is limping like this, that's a very tall order. Very tall order. Also, Mitch Robinson did look good tonight. There was a little flurry, little stretch there. He was making an impact, getting some offensive rebounds and some putbacks. But in general, he probably had his worst game of the playoffs. Thank you guys for joining me. My name is George. This is Into the Knicks-Verse. Welcome into the Knicks-Verse. If this is your first time here, please subscribe. Turn on a notification bell so you are alerted when I go live. And drop your comments. Definitely appreciate the comments tremendously, especially if you're watching this later on after the live stream is replaying. Definitely drop your comments. I'll read them all. They really help me. Yeah, hit those thumbs up button for me. Let's go. Shout out to the chat. Thank you guys for joining me. Taka, what's up? Brooklyn Pyro, Felix, Cepeda, Alex Nader, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Terrell White, everybody's rolling up here. Sandman, Foxy, what's up? What's up? The players have nothing left in their tank, says Stephen Fox. That was my major concern the whole time, the whole year. They did look gassed and they looked disjointed. They weren't communicating. Like all the positives we saw in Game 3 were absent tonight. It appeared to be absent tonight. To the point where even Thibs had to give them a speech. This was in the first half, this speech. And he's talking directly to Cat right there. But, you know, obviously Mikal and Mitch are there. And he said, no jog. They're trying to catch us on the run. Sprint, sprint, sprint. Come on, man. Come on. Communication. Prioritize the ball. The ball should not be left unguarded. Come on. You're better than that. There were stretches where they listened. There were stretches where they did respond, but there were too many when they actually were very confused and they left guys wide open once again. It's kind of confusing as to how they can allow that to happen. Man, this loss hurts. This loss hurts. NBA J Nikki tweeted this out. Well, first, Thib says in the postgame, tonight's postgame, we hurt ourselves with our turnovers. 17 turnovers. Putting them in the open floor. Tom Thibodeau talks about what went wrong for the Knicks defensively tonight. And then Jay Nicky retweets. He said he played that guy that had half of them for 36 minutes. The guy who didn't start tonight, Josh Hart. Somehow he thought playing him 36 minutes was a good idea. He committed so many turnovers tonight. And he fouled out because he also committed stupid fouls as well. He got called for a couple of fouls that I will admit probably shouldn't have been called on him, especially in a playoff game like this with the intensity that a playoff game has, especially in a conference final, especially a very decisive conference final, Game 4. When you have a team trying to battle and you're calling silly ticky-tack fouls, you basically start deciding the game. And there was a stretch. I was trying to find where it was. It was a stretch during the second half where the Knicks were down 5 at the half, and then immediately found themselves down 13 or something like that. And I think it may even have gotten up to 15. And then they were battling to get back into it. They did eventually cut the deficit down to just 6. 2 possessions. 3 times in the fourth quarter. They cut it down to 6. And they couldn't get over the hump because of the stupid passing. The stupid turnovers. Mostly all of them by Josh Hart. I don't understand what Hart is thinking. How he literally is telegraphing passes. The reason they can steal the ball from you, Josh Hart, is because they know whatever you do, you're not going to go and finish at the hoop. That I don't know what happened to that Josh Hart. Maybe the knee is hurting. Maybe he's exhausted. But I remember a guy who used to grab and go, finish at the other end. He has not completed one of those this entire series, and he has stopped even attempting them in the past couple of games. So when you're driving to the hoop, they know, the Indiana defenders know what you're going to do. They know you're going to try to pass the ball to somebody. So they fill up the lanes, the passing lanes. And that's how you committed those turnovers. I think 5 or 6 turnovers by himself. By himself. Where was DeLon Wright in that second half earlier? Where was DeLon Wright in the third quarter is what I want to know. Earlier. Like you brought those guys in the first quarter. Thibs goes 10 deep in the first half and then abandons that in the second half. The game was only 5 points at the half. So obviously what you were doing in the first half had a positive effect to a certain degree, except the turnovers were killing you. You had 9 turnovers at halftime, and you had conceded 11 points off of those turnovers. So obviously that was hurting you, and you had only gotten 4 points. That was it. That was basically the game right there. They could have been tied if you had taken care of the ball, like he's saying here. So, he says the right things, and then he goes and does wacky shit. I mean, Precious, I don't think Precious played in the second half at all. And I thought he gave some quality minutes in the first half. The Knicks look tired. OG Anunoby cannot even achieve a dunk right now. Remember the beast that we saw during that stretch when Brunson was hurt in the regular season? He was a fiend. He was just dunking all over everybody. He has not achieved a dunk on a drive in the lane. I mean, he's like 1 out of 4 or 1 out of 5 ratio in dunking. So he's obviously exhausted as well. Mikal Bridges, I mean, he hit some amazing threes in the fourth quarter, but where were they? Where were you offensively in the first half? Instead of being down 5, we could have been up 5 if Mikal, you hit some of those buckets that you end up hitting later when things are desperate. And Jalen Brunson gets off to an incredible start in the first quarter. He finishes with 5 assists. Yeah, he's had and shout out to Foxy for bringing this out to me, bringing it up to me. Brunson only has 6 assists in the last 2 games. Tyrese Halliburton had a triple-double tonight. He came through for his team. And Brunson did not. Brunson also committing turnovers, also missing buckets when they needed it. This was a terrible, terrible, terrible loss. Terrible loss. Man. Let's look at, let's go here. Not sure how long I will stay on. Probably just about a half hour total. Here is the box score, the final box score. You can see it right there. Josh Hart fouls out, 6 fouls and 5 turnovers right there. You can see it. I put it in blue. 5 turnovers for Josh Hart. He did finish with 12 points somehow. He was 1 of 2 from the three-point line. He hit that three-pointer in the first half. Nothing in the second half. He plays 36 minutes. He did get 11 rebounds. He was out there. He was doing some positive things, but then Knicks would get on a roll and build some momentum, and then he'd commit a turnover. Or he'd commit a terrible foul. I mean, when you commit 6 fouls, they're not going to be all going to be good. I'd say at least 3 of those fouls were bad fouls, unnecessary fouls, pushing a big guy in the back when your team is about to get the offensive rebound. And then or get the defensive rebound. Sorry. Your team's going to get the defensive rebound, and you push Bradley in the back, and then you get called a foul on yourself. Why? I mean, that ball wasn't... Knicks were going to get that rebound anyway. The margin for error in these games is 0. There is none. Are you going to be perfect? No. But you have to be more perfect than your opponent. And tonight, the Indiana Pacers were the more perfect team. And the Knicks actually were not near that. Even though the Knicks did shoot 43% from the three-point line, but they only attempted 28, where the Pacers attempted 4 more. They hit 1 more. They attempted 6 more shots than the Knicks, 88 to 82, and they connected on an additional 7 more buckets. If it weren't for the Knicks going to the free throw line 39 times, this could have been a 20-point game, but it kept the Knicks around. It kept the Knicks around, their proficiency at the free throw line. But OG, in a very key moment, key stretch of the game, missed two key free throws. In fact, let's look for that. Where was that? There was a moment here. You can see they're battling. They get it down to 118, 112. That was a big three-pointer by McCall with just under 4 minutes left. But then, Towns hits a big right here. They just couldn't get stops. They couldn't string stops together like they did in Game 3. They couldn't string those stops together. They cut the lead to 6 points, 2 possessions with 4.5 minutes left off a Towns putback. And then they come down to the other end and let Siakam hit a 3 from the corner. I believe that was a corner 3. So now, boom, it's up to 9. Come down. McCall buries a 3, which I would love to have had this earlier in the game, but he buries a 3. And now it's back to 6 again. But boom, they lose track of Halliburton. Finger roll for him. And then Josh Hart gets blocked. Gets blocked right here, which is basically, he comes in, then he gets his own rebound, puts it back. Nice. So now we're at 6. But look, we've lost a minute and 7 seconds. Crucial minute and 7 seconds from the last time you were 2 possessions away from tying this game. So now you lost it. Now it's 3:17. Indiana calls a timeout. They miss, but they get a rebound. They get an offensive rebound. They get 2 chances at this. Then Mikal Bridges commits a personal foul on Turner. Turner misses the first, hits the second. So now it's a 7-point game, just under 3 minutes left. Then OG gets called for an offensive foul, a charging call. Neesmith again, I think it was Neesmith, got in front of him. Offensive foul, so that results in a turnover. They get it, and somehow, luckily enough, Turner commits an offensive foul, picks up his 5th. It was his 4th turnover. And then a timeout is called. It's 2:11 left, and the score is 121-114. Plenty of time to win this game. Come out, and the shot, I think Brunson's back in this game, but the shots that were attempted, they went to Bridges. He missed a 20-foot jump shot. We got an offensive rebound. Missed an 18-foot jump shot. Then Halliburton gets a rebound. Siakam gets his running layup blocked. OG got the block. But look what's happening. The clock is ticking away. And then OG gets the block, but the Pacers pick up the rebound, the offensive rebound. Again, that's a crucial moment in this game. And that is where and then Josh Hart picks up his 6th personal foul, 1:44 left. Siakam steps to the line, and now Hart subs out. Shamet comes in, which was, I thought, interesting, not Deuce. I thought that was interesting. Shamet comes in. Siakam hits his both of his free throws, and now it's a 9-point game. Bridges misses a 3-point attempt. Siakam misses his thing, and then Shamet rebounds. Turner commits a personal foul. He fouls out. 1:09 left, but the clock is just ticking. The Knicks are not scoring. OG steps up. He hits these 2 free throws. I actually started this by looking for the free throws he missed, but he hits these 2. But at this point, it's a 7-point game with a minute 09 left. Now you need stops. Okay, great. Brunson blocks Nembhard's shot, but Indiana gets the offensive rebound again. That's the third or fourth offensive rebound in the last 2.5 minutes right here. And then Toppin buries a killer three to put them up 10 points with 46 seconds left, and that was the game right there. But before that, I wanted to find the 2 missed free throws by OG, because that was a crucial moment in the game. Right here. Crucial momentum moment in the game. They just keep putting themselves back. Because right here, because he misses the free throws right before the Knicks make a little bit of a flurry of a run to cut the lead from 13 down to 6. But it could have been down to 4 if OG had hit his free throws at the 6:04 mark right here. He misses the first one, misses the second one, and then comes down. But then now Bridges hits a 3, and now it's a 10-point game. It could have been an 8-point game. We get a couple of stops here, and then OG hits his 2. This could have been, 115-109, a 6-point game instead of an 8-point game with 5:10 left. And then, because here's this moment, look at this nice little run that the Knicks are going on right here. And that's when Cat does the putback, and McCall hits his 3. At this point, this could have been a 4-point game right here. And then you play the game differently at that point. You're not as desperate. Just wasn't a smartly played game for the Knicks. Just wasn't. And shout out to the Pacers. They came out and they wanted this. They definitely wanted this game more than the Knicks. They played sharper. They did fade a little bit. At one point, they got a little stagnated. But the key to how they played this game is they had excellent closes to every single quarter. Right here, the first quarter, nice close right here. They close, they basically were, it was a 2-point game with about 3 minutes left, 2.5 minutes left, 3 minutes left. It was a 2-point game, and they went on a run to close it to close the first quarter up 8. And then the Knicks did technically win the second quarter. The Knicks won the second quarter and the fourth quarter, but by very small margins. And then the Knicks even take a lead in the second quarter late. A lead late, and then they were up 2, and let them go on a 7-0 run to close the second quarter. So, I mean, you can see this. And then here, the third quarter as well. It was a 6-point game towards the end of the third quarter, and it ballooned to a 10-point by the end. In the last 2 minutes, a minute and a half, it ballooned to a 10-point. So every close to every quarter, the Pacers won that, and that is why they won this game. If that's inverted there, if the Knicks close strong, especially at the half, and maybe are tied or take the lead, but the way that they played from the end of the second quarter to midway through the third quarter, or in the first 3 minutes of the third quarter, that basically lost them the game at that point. Because then they were just constantly behind, trying to catch up, and they couldn't fully. They couldn't get over the hump. The closest they could get the deficit was to 5 points in that third quarter. And I will say, it's kind of poor leadership from Jalen Brunson tonight. Hurts to say it, but it's true. Hurts to say it. Let's look at these stats here, quarter by quarter. Look at this. Like I said, Thibs went 10 deep. 10 deep. But in the second half, DeLon plays less than 2 minutes. Shamet played almost 6 minutes, but that was because Josh Hart fouled out. So I think he played those extra 2 or 3 minutes right there. Man. What a disappointing. What a disappointing man. And Mathurin, yes, I see Paradise Lost brings up Mathurin. Mathurin had himself a tremendous second half. He delivered 12 points in that second half. Was 8 of 9 from the free throw line. He got physical. He got into Brunson's head a little bit. But Pascal Siakam stepped up big in that second half as well. 17 points for him. 6 of 13. Terrible, guys. The Knicks had 3 players score 20 or more. Towns, we needed a big 30-plus game from you. Brunson, we needed a 35 to 40-plus game from you. Shout out to OG Anunoby, even though he was 1 for 7 from the three-point line. At least, he kept trying, and it's good. You need to get those attempts up. They didn't drop, but he did other things out there offensively. He finished with 22 points in his 40 minutes. Mikal Bridges, 17 points on 15 attempts. That's pretty bad, bro. That's pretty bad. And a lot of that, it was 11 points in the second half. In the first half, Mikal was 2 for 7. 2 for 7 in the first half. Mikal Bridges finishes shooting 40% from the field. Deuce McBride, ineffectual offensively, 1 of 3. Here's the plus minuses. Oh, man. My neck is tight, man, from this. The body language just looked terrible. Their body language was terrible in this game, especially in the second half. Like I mentioned before, Mitch played 19 minutes. He only had 7 rebounds, and he was a minus 20, the worst on the team. Deuce was a minus 14. Brunson was a minus 16. Deuce and Mitch had been the best plus-minus guys on this team in this series so far. And here they were their worst. They had their worst games. But terrible time for them to have their worst games. Shout out to Carlisle. He figured out a couple wrinkles to slow those 2 guys down, to lessen their impact, and it worked. The Pacers had 3 guys with 20 points or more, 2 of them with 30 points or more, and Nesmith came through with 16, playing on that ankle, but he didn't look bothered by it at all. Turner, 13 points, only 3 rebounds for him. He had a good, decent game, but he didn't make too much of an impact. But Tyrese Halliburton, man, 11 of 23, not that efficient there, but his buckets were timely and they were big. 32 points for him, 15 assists, 12 rebounds for him. All right, here are the team stats. Knicks allowed the Pacers to shoot over 50% from the field, 51.1 to be exact. Pacers shot 40.6%. Knicks actually shot better from the three-point line than the Pacers did. They just didn't shoot enough of them. This is one of those games where it would have been nice to have seen. OG tried. He didn't have it, but it would have been nice to have seen the Knicks hunt for quality threes. Get some good looks. Get Brunson on a catch and shoot. Anything other than what actually happened. Brunson though was 2 of 6 from the 3-point line, but we know him. If he puts up another 3-point attempts, he could hit all 3 of those. So that could make a big difference. The volume of 3-point wasn't high enough in this game at all. Knicks did win the rebounding battle. Actually, let's go to these charts over here. If you could tell, I'm bummed because the Knicks are on the brink. They put themselves in a situation now where now they have to win 3 straight. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And the games 1 and 2 that were lost should have been won. And I blame Thibs. I blame the players. They just shut down in that fourth quarter in game 1. But they had an opportunity in overtime. They even built a lead in overtime. And then they just gave it away again. Now, did the Pacers benefit from some incredibly a heater that Nesmith went on? Yes. But it still took a miraculous shot from Tyrese Halliburton to tie the game. I thought that ball was going to hit the shot clock and that game was over. Instead, it just bounced straight up and then boom, plopped down. Second chance points ended up being even, 15-all. Knicks lost the points in the paint battle. We don't win games, especially teams like this, against teams like this, when we are losing the points in the paint battle. And we got destroyed in the fast break point area, 22-9. That's a plus 13 for the Indiana Pacers right there. And that's really the margin in the game. You can see the 17 turnovers. Wow. But look at that line. See what it says total turnovers? 17 for Knicks, 11 for Pacers. And below, points conceded off turnovers. Knicks gave up 20 points there and could only get 9 off of the 11 turnovers that the Pacers committed. That's a plus 11 their way. What was the final score? 9-point game. Take care of the ball, put yourself in an opportunity to win. You give the ball away, you're constantly playing from behind, expending more energy, trying to find other solutions, and Thibs is just not that guy. I thought that Thibs did an excellent job in Game 3 in finding the rotations that were making a positive impact throughout the game. Tonight, it looked like he looked lost. He looked like he abandoned that, actually. And he's just stuck with Josh Hart for 36 minutes. For what? He wasn't doing much on the court. He got a few, he saved some balls that went out of bounds. But I felt he was having a very negative impact on this game throughout. It was hard to get into a flow the way he was playing with the turnovers and the stupid fouls and passing up shots. Can't win like that. Largest lead for the Pacers was 15. Largest lead for the Knicks was 2. Oh, man. I wish I had better news for you guys. I do not. I don't want to quit on my team. And I'm not going to. But they have definitely put themselves in a terrible situation where they need to win 3 straight. And I'm not even sure. Let me see. 1, 3. Here we go. Well, NBA playoff history. 13 teams have come back from a 3-1 deficit to win a series. The Cleveland Cavaliers are the only team to do it in the NBA Finals, famously overcoming a 3-1 deficit against the Golden State Warriors, which that was because of crazy shit. That was Draymond, lost his mind, so that's why that happened. The Denver Nuggets in the 2020 playoffs overcame 3-1 deficits in both the Western Conference first round against the Utah Jazz and the second round against the Los Angeles Clippers. I remember that. And the Houston Rockets in 1995 Western Conference semifinals. The Rockets defeated Phoenix after falling behind 3-1. So 13 teams have done it. The most recent was the Nuggets in 2020. That's 5 years ago. So it is possible. But if the Knicks play like this, like the way they shoot themselves in the foot, I don't see it. I don't see it happening if they keep playing like that. And also there is the concern of Cat's knee. I mean, one way could be to look at it is, you know, let's say Cat's able to play a little bit in game 5, and, you know, the other Knicks catch fire, which has happened. We've seen it with OG and Anunoby, and maybe Deuce gives you some big minutes. Mitch comes through big, and Brunson gives you 45. And, you know, the momentum of the crowd is with you, and you what you were doing in game 1, you actually finish it out, and you win that game. So we win. Let's say we win game 5 and we return down 3-2 in game 6. And, you know, Cat's knee starts feeling a little bit better. And then he has a humongous game because he does punish the Pacers. And somehow the Knicks repeat what they did in game 3, in game 6, and get it back to the Garden for game 7. And then it's, who knows? Then it's just a battle royale to the finish. That, at this point, is the most we could hope for. And if we can get to a game 7, I love our chances because anything can happen in a game 7. That's really all I got for you guys. What a bummer. What a bummer. Well, actually, let's go back to this. Hold on. So here's the list. NBA teams that have recovered from a 1-3 deficit in the playoffs. Like I mentioned, the 2 Nuggets, 2016 Cavs, 2016 Warriors. The 2016 Warriors did it as well. They were down 1-3 to the Thunder in the Western Conference Finals and came back and won 4-3. The Rockets did it the year before that in 2015 against the Clippers. So the Clippers, it's happened twice to the Clippers. And then you'd have to go all the way down. That was 2015, all the way down to 2006 to find it again. With the Suns did it to the Lakers. And then in 2003, the Pistons did it to Magic in the Eastern Conference first round. In the Eastern Conference Finals, in the 1981 Celtics came back to defeat the Philadelphia 76ers. And that was a great 76ers team. Obviously, it was a great Boston Celtics team. So it happens. It can be done. It can be done. All right, guys. Gonna sign off. Gonna try to do a video tomorrow, breaking everything down a little more. Man, I wish we had good news for you guys. It's not the time for us to be like, oh, well, we had a great year, great run. It's not the time for that. There will be a time, plenty of time. Will be plenty of time for all summer long. We can do that because it is great that we're one of the final 4 teams that are still playing right now, and we still have a chance. So, you know, not gonna think about next season yet. There'll be plenty of time for that. I feel defeated. I feel defeated. But still not going to count the team out. Still not going to count them out. If there is a team that could do it, that could join this list here of teams that have recovered, it is this team right here tonight. The Knicks. The 2024-25 New York Knicks. Let's hope so. All right. Thank you guys for watching this. Again, my name is George. Please subscribe. Hit the thumbs up button for me and drop your comments. I read them all, and I really appreciate them all. I really appreciate the support everyone has given me all year long and throughout the whole history of the channel. It's been wonderful. We're way over 10,000 subscribers now. I really appreciate the enthusiasm. We always have a great vibe here and into the Knicks-Verse, and it's basically you guys bringing it. Really appreciate that. And I will see you around the Knicks-Verse. Let's go. I'm not giving up.